Reddit ask me anything. Iyama, retired, cat burglar, ask me anything. Well, I quit the practice quite a while ago, but perhaps I can satisfy any burning questions any of you may have. Questions about safety, the answers to which will probably terrify you. The why and how, or just about anything, are quite acceptable. Obviously, I'm using a throwaway for this, and yes, I'm using protection to hopefully keep myself safe. So please be a bit understanding if I happen to be responding slower than you'd like. And to answer what I know will be the single biggest question. No, I never got caught. I quit of my own choosing after moving away and finding a decent job. When my house was robbed once, someone obviously showed up to the house halfway through and freaked the person out because there was a whole heap of our stuff stacked at the front door. They only got away with a few bits and pieces, but the thing that freaked me out the most was the fact my brother's ashes were stacked on top of everything. Disgusting piece of shit, whoever it was. Ashes. I have no clue why a person would go for that, unless the urn was of value. I would never have done such a thing. I even refused to steal wedding rings and wedding bands. It wasn't even an actual urn. We had only had them for 2 weeks, so they were still in the plastic box with a sticker on the front saying what they were. As weird as this is going to sound, I'm glad there are good burglars out there. The house I live in with my boyfriend was broken into and most of our stuff stolen about a year ago, and it was seriously one of the most traumatic events of my life. We're college kids and lost pretty much everything we owned of any value. I still have trouble sleeping at night and have had to install alarms on everything. I just can't believe a human being could do that to another human. We're all in this thing together, just trying to get by. No questions. Just wanted to beach. I'm glad you stopped though. Cheers to your new job, and hope that goes well and you never feel inclined to return to the lifestyle. I'm going to give you the best advice for home security you will ever get. Window laminate, alarms, dogs, all of that are either useless or reactionary. The only thing that ever really shut me down were laminated windows. A crook's biggest weapon is speed, and their biggest enemy is time. If somebody were to try to break into your home and ended up hitting a window that was laminated, they would, in almost every case, run off. It isn't even all that expensive, especially since you only need to laminate the first floor windows, and any windows on a first floor roof on a 2-story house, such as a porch or deck roof. Don't waste money on alarms or dogs. Spend it on good window laminate put in by professionals, and you will be much safer. Nice try, window laminate sales guy. So that's what his new job is. Are you ever afraid of a homeowner with a gun? That's about the only thing I was truly afraid of. Just out of curiosity, from your point of view, would a homeowner be in the right to kill you if he or she were to catch you in the act? Did you consider your life forfeit when you entered a home, or did you never really think about the dying part? I never did come to terms with that question. And I've thought about it quite a bit over the years. Would they be in the right? Yes. In my mind, I don't know. I considered what I was doing a do or die situation. So I felt that what I was doing was forgivable. But I don't think I would have held any grudge against a person who shot to kill. To be fair, though, I would fall to the ground and beg and plead like a little baby. At which point, if I had not already been shot, killing me would be considered murder. Yep, you read that right. The laws in several states, including the one I was in, are so few-read that shooting a person who has broken into your home but is in a position of surrender or some such nonsense is considered murder. I never really worried much about it, though, as I've said before, where I was in life at the time, there wasn't much left for or of me. Biggest haul, or weirdest thing you saw stole in a house? X. The weirdest thing I ever saw was somebody who apparently collected those wooden Indian statues from outside cigar shops. They had more than I cared to count. I cannot tell you how creepy it is to be in a house with those things lurking in the shadows, staring at you. That particular house actually scared me a bit, because I kept jumping, thinking the statues were a person. A statue would be in a random corner, and I would see it, and my heart would start racing. My biggest haul, probably around $1,000. I never went for electronics, just quick and easy pornables or cash. What's quick and easy pornables, and where did you look for cash? Quick and easy pornables are jewelry, for the most part, but I drew the line at wedding rings and wedding bands. I never stole a person's wedding rings. I would look for cash on kitchen counters, near the coffee pot, as well in the cupboards near it, around the area where keys were hung, in jars and boxes, especially ones on the upper shelves of bookcases, in bedrooms and bathrooms, on vanities and in the clothing drawers, under beds, under mattresses, under lamps. Yet, quite a few people hid cash under lamp pedestals, and just about anywhere that there didn't seem to be much collected dust, but was a small enclosure, small drawers and cabinets. Yes, I would take a glance at the level of dust in the house to get an idea for the well-traveled areas. I generally didn't bother with a safe, though a lot of crooks do, if they have a vehicle available. But since I had to hoof it, lugging around a safe would be a bit too obvious. That's all? You master breaking into houses only to steal minor jewelry and change? I don't understand. How is this less than $1,000 worth risking your life record? He mentioned that prison was not a relatively great disincentive for him, as 3 meals a day and a place to sleep was more than he thought he would have been able to attain without stealing at that time. How close did you come to being caught in the act? Ever leave any incriminating evidence behind? The closest was passing by a police car as they were going to the house. I was a few blocks away at the time. I was never really close to being caught, but the question of it was always there. I would usually be in and out in under 5 minutes. Evidence? No, none that I can think of. I was never caught, so I guess I didn't leave anything incriminating. If I did forget something. Burglaries don't tend to be solved. It's just not worth the police's time. Unless the homeowner catches you in the act, or the police just happen to see you climb through the window, then you're likely to get away with it. How accurate is Home Alone? I actually tripped on toys once. The room's curtains were drawn and the light switch was not very close to the door. I didn't carry a flashlight. I made hits during the day, and never really needed one. And when I went into the room, I stepped on, and broke, an old Dino Rider toy. Seeing that toy brought back a lot of memories, and felt worse for breaking that toy than I did for breaking into and robbing the house. Exactly how many cats have you burgled? I've never burgled any cats, but if you count the dogs I've bribed, it's probably in the 30-40 range. I never actually stole them, though, just bribed. We talking doggy treats or horse tranquilizers here, browski? Rawhide sticks. Actually, it was easy to fit quite a few in a pocket, and they would satisfy pretty much every dog. No kidding, my mom always told me, a dog's the best burglar alarm you'll ever have. Guess she was wrong. The best alarm you can have is a motion triggered hidden camera. I would suggest one that is embedded in a clock radio that records to an onboard SSD. Not many crooks are going to take what looks like a $10 alarm clock. Otherwise, for protection, get window laminate. That is one of the only true security systems that actually works. A hidden camera to catch your masked face? There's more information available than just the face, but the face is the biggest chance in catching a person. Height, weight, race, all of these are picked up by a camera, which can be a big help. Yay baby, that camera next to my bed, it's for burglars. Did you ever carry a weapon with you? Had you considered using it or threatening to use it when given the opportunity? Did you steal during the day-night? And did you study the houses and their occupants carefully to avoid confrontations? I had a pocket knife with a 3-inch blade, but that wouldn't have done much as a weapon against somebody in their home. It was mostly for cutting a screen or similar situations. I wouldn't have used it, though, as a weapon. If I had ever encountered a person, I would have just ran. My hits were during the day, usually around 10 or 2. People were at work, and it was either before or after lunch. Night hits are only in movies, books and jailed thieves. People are home at night, and far too many people have guns. I never made a night hit and never wanted to. As for studying, not usually. I might make a pass and then come back an hour or 2 later, but I usually just kept my eye out for obvious signs of nobody at home. No cars, no movement, no flickering TV, computer, etc. The times I did do studies was usually when the houses were near parks, and I could watch for a bit longer without making people suspicious. Even then, though, I usually just watched the kitchen, if I could, for an hour or so. How easy was it for you to enter targeted houses? What were your techniques? It was very easy. My method of entering was usually to find a decent backyard window and break it. Entering through there, I had secured hello, duct tape, a sharp rock to an elbow guard, and would just hit the window. The worst times were when I forgot my gloves and had no way of opening the window. You'll be amazed at how many windows are painted shut, or were never meant to open to begin with. I had a pair of heavy mesh gloves to clear away glass at those times, and if I forgot them and couldn't find another means of clearing the glass quickly, I'd abort the attempt. I kind of pity those people more than the ones I actually robbed, because they would come home to a broken window, and that was it. Rather insulting, I'd think. Furthermore, they'd spend the rest of their lives wondering just what it was you stole. How many times are we talking here where you forgot your gloves? Seems like gloves would be pretty high up the list of items you're gonna need to go out cat burglaring. Not many. Over the year and a half I was active, I think it only happened twice. Single most expensive object stolen, most stolen from one house at the same time, any incidents with dogs, or homeowners actually home, scariest moment? Most expensive object, a gold watch. I could have grabbed a diamond wedding ring, but even I had standards. Most stolen from one house was around $1,000. And dogs? Let me give you the lowdown on dogs. They aren't protection or security. A dog can be easily tamed usually. Act friendly, give it a few rubs, and they'll happily follow you around. If that doesn't work, after my first run-in with an annoying dog, a small, yappy dog, I started carrying rawhide sticks with me. That stopped them very fast. Also, on the topic of dogs, if you want a security dog, get a small, loud dog that barks at almost everything. Big dogs may look scary, but considering most people don't like the chance of their dog turning on them, the dogs are either very tame or chained up. Small dogs, however, bark a lot. Those were the only ones I was ever worried about. Even then, as I said, a stick or two of rawhide and they were down for the count. Scariest moment? I tried climbing up on a deck roof to get in an open window and slipped. I caught myself, and I was only on the first floor roof, but my heart was pounding that entire hit as it had never been in any other. Apparently the best security animals are geese. Will start honking at anything and can't be bribed. The fact that a person had a flock of geese in their home to begin with would probably scare off most crooks.